So I was editing the vlog so I could, post it tomorrow. And I realized I never filmed an intro clip or a ending clip. And I'm so good at vlogs at this point. This isn't the first time lately that I've done that crap. I'm trying to get better about it, but I always seem to forget for some odd reason. I'll try to be better in the future. But anyways, this vlog is about continuing work on a buck short, organization, and porcupines, and all the fun we've had with all of that. So, enjoy! Hey Dragonlings, welcome back to another vlog. I am on my break at work. I am back to work now. Last week was the 7-day book challenge as well as the authortube sweet treat stream crawl. And what I would like to accomplish this week as far as like my goals for this week. I'm having trouble with my phone. Hold on. Sorry. Anyways, so I have a few goals this week. I did not complete a buck short during the 7-day book challenge, which is fine. Like I talked about that in the vlog. But that means that there are a couple things I want to accomplish in April. I'm unofficially doing the rough draft challenge, and there are 4 things I want to accomplish during April with this challenge. The first of which is I want to finish a buck short. I think even if I only do like 1 sprint a day, I think I can finish it by the 15th. I had to calculate in my head. I was like, how long would it take me to do it? So I think if I do even just 1 sprint a day, I can finish it by the 15th. I'm hoping to finish it earlier than that, but that allows me to give time because I am doing classwork as well. It's like now I'm back to work. So there's that one project. Then the next project I want to work on is I want to finish up Presumed Dead, which is the first short story in the Sultry Solstices series, which is a series of 7 short stories, each following one of 7 sisters as they find love with a supernatural creature. So the first story is already written, but I added 2 chapters, one in the beginning, one in the end, of the male love interest point of view, and I wasn't happy with the ending chapter from his point of view. It just didn't fit the characters, so I wanted to rewrite that, and that's the second project I want to work in April. The third project is very much based on whether or not I complete those 2 projects and how I'm feeling about that project when I get to that point. And that is the writing prompt book. I've recently had a couple people tell me that they're really excited about the writing prompt book. So I do want to get to the point where I'm finishing it up. I think I'm at the point now where I've got to figure out what else I want to include in the writing prompt book. I had a bunch of ideas, and now it's time to like finally settle down on what exactly I want to do. Plus I need to write like the introduction and stuff like that. I've got all the prompts for it. If I were just to put out a prompt book with just prompts, it'd be done. Slap in some front and back matter and I can publish it now. I don't really want to do that. I want to add more depth to it to make it more not palatable, that's not the right word. Accessible is not the right word either. Like more meaningful, like more of a workbook. Not quite though. I did think about doing that though, and actually that is a good idea. I don't know how I feel about that. I might do that. I have to think about it. So I've got to figure all that out and figure out what I'm doing with that project. So that's the third one. And then the fourth and final one is not writing related. It's the fact that I want to complete 30 hours of cleaning in my house. Like I want to set a timer and actually get an hour of cleaning done each day. My house is a mess. We are trying to condense how much stuff we have. We're trying to declutter. We're trying to do all this stuff. And I think if I can commit to 1 hour a day for 30 days, I'd be amazed at how much I could accomplish. So that is goal number 4. So yeah, this week is just about finishing up as much of a buck short as I can. And I've got 3 chapters left because I finished chapter 7. I've got 3 chapters left. They're roughly about, anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 words, so that's all I gotta do. And then I gotta work schoolwork around it, everything that I'm doing. So I will accomplish it. I just don't know how yet. Time for some to-do lists and some scheduling stuff. Why is it I just had a thought like earlier today, and I'm just now remembering it again. So I don't know if I've mentioned it on vlogs, but I have mentioned it on live streams that I've hopped between the times of 9 and 10 because of the fact that my kids go to bed at 9 on weekdays. And so there's a lot of times when I'm trying to really still get like ready for a live stream. So I've been scheduling them for 10, but 10 feels too late because of the fact that then I'm writing, if I write for a full 4 sprints and then we have a lot of chit chat in between, we're on for like longer than I really want to be on before I go to bed to be up in the morning for a breaking the block session. Why is it I never thought about scheduling my live streams for like 9:30? 30 minutes would be perfect. 30 minutes is just enough time. Like, I could schedule a 9:30 live stream, which would be 10, 11, 12. That'd be, even if I do a 3-hour stream, that'd be 12:30 at night. Like, I could do that. That makes... Why did I never think of this before? I don't know. I'm really tired. Usually on Mondays, when I know I've got work, I take a nap during the day at some point, like a 3-hour nap. Yeah, 3-hour nap. And today I did not because I wasn't tired, and I'm feeling it now because all I want to do is like collapse and go to sleep. Like, I'm fine otherwise. I'm tired. And I'll make it through the night. I've got my monster. I've got a monster. I've got some soda. Like, I will be fine. I'm just feeling it so much right now, and it's probably because I'm on my break. As soon as my break is over, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm awake. And as soon as I get home, oh, okay, I'm awake. But right now, I'm dragging so hard. And it's okay. I'm just tired. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start scheduling. I'm going to try it for the month of April. I'm going to try scheduling live streams for 9:30, and we'll see how we like that, and then we will go from there. But I have a feeling that is the magic sauce, is scheduling it at 9:30 at night. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I fucking hate snow at this point. I hate winter at this point. The season's just not for me. We've had warm weather all week. And by all week, I mean all last week. And then it decided to snow again today. It was very cold today. It was like in the low 40s to 30s. I don't even remember. I checked the temperature once and I can't even remember what it said. But it is currently snowing outside. Let me start. Okay, where are we going with this vlog? Okay, I don't even know what I last talked about. Let's find out. Okay, so I'm still working on a buck short, which is the story I was writing last week for the 7-day book challenge. And I'm going through some shit with it. I actually had to send multiple voice messages to Stephanie to explain something. I was like, do you want spoilers? She was like, yeah, because I'll forget by the time I read it. And I was like, cool, because I need help. I need to just talk through this. And I will probably figure it out as I talk through this with you, but I need to talk through this. So I sent her, I first tried to send her one very long voice message. And it cut me off right when I was getting ready to send it, and not right when I was getting ready to send it. It was when I was getting ready to send it to her that I realized that it had cut me off, and it said that I had exceeded the length that I could do. And I was like, oh shoot, I don't know what it cut me off. And I'd been talking for like 15 to 20 minutes straight, and I was like, oh crap. So I condensed what I was saying down, re-recorded it as 3 separate messages, and sent them to her. Okay, so, and I was explaining the situation that I was running into where I've got 2 characters in this story. One is Jez, which is short for Jezebel. She is our main girly girl. She is our main girl. And then the male love interest is Ezekiel, or Zeke. And in the first scene where they're officially like getting to know one another, they are at a bar, and she is getting plastered because of the fact that she's had a very, very bad day. And her friends run the bar. One is a bartender, one is a cook in the kitchen. They are a married couple. However, Zeke does not know her friendship with the couple. He does not know the dynamic between her and the couple. And he doesn't know anything of that. So she's sitting at the bar getting plastered. He is sitting there. He's already deemed he's going to be the designated driver. He's going to get her home afterwards. But she and one of the friends, one of the married couple, start flirting with each other. Like, their talk gets flirty. It's not that they're actively flirting, it's just the talk between them is very flirtatious. And he gets possessive. Zeke gets possessive. And she does correct him. She says, we will have none of that. This is my friend. He is married to the guy in the back. You will not act this way. I will not put up with it. Stop your... Just halt your shit. And so she does correct him. But the next day, when they see each other and they're talking, he does a complete 180. Zeke is very super sweet. He's very attentive to all of her needs. It's literally an attitude change. The complete opposite of the way he was the night before when he was being possessive and growly and all that fun jazz. And there's two ways I could go with it. I could explain it as that he listened to her and was like, okay, she does not like this. I need to back off. I need to act differently. I could put it that way. Or they have a fresh bond between them, a magical bond that ties them together that has never happened before in the magical community, and he understands what it is, kind of. He is still working through what all of it means himself, and she knows nothing of it because she is human. She doesn't see the bond, she doesn't feel the bond, she doesn't know it exists. He can see and feel the bond between them. And so it is fresh in his mind that they have this bond. He doesn't know how to tell her about the bond. Not that he can't tell her, he just doesn't know how to in a way that won't freak her out or make her mad or anything of the like. So he's working through that. He's working through the fact that this is a bond that shouldn't exist in the first place. It's never happened before, and he doesn't know how to handle it. And he's just overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And the fact that he has to somehow pass the same information along to her without, scaring her away, kind of thing. So I can blame his attitude at the bar on that, or the fact that he does the 180 because of the fact that she told him to stop, and he is going to listen to her and actually stop. But the truth is, I figured out the reason I don't like the 180, because I can explain the 180, but I just plain don't like the 180, and I figured out what it is. And what it is that he can turn into a fucking deer. And yes, I realize that deer can be ruthless, they can be brutal, they can damage your shit, they can fuck you up. I realize this. However, in my mind, when we see that kind of alpha attitude, that possessive, you're mine and no one else is going to flirt with you kind of attitude, it's usually with predators. Wolves, bears, lions. Like, it's with predators. And in my mind, I can't see a fucking deer being that way. And yes, it's a mentality thing, because he is still a person, he is still a man, he is not a deer full time. And he still has emotions that he can delve into that deal with the fact that he's acting this way. So I get it, he could act this way. However, I don't really want him to. I just plain don't. I don't want him to have that attitude. And so I have got to decide whether or not I'm going to leave it and just explain it, or if I'm going to just remove those scenes and change up the dynamic of them at the bar. And maybe have him just maybe get flirty himself and be like, why do you guys act like this? Or play along, or even just question it, or maybe make jokes. I have to decide what his personality is going to be like, as far as their dynamic before he explains stuff and then after he explains stuff, or as he's explaining stuff. And I've got to figure that out. And I don't know which I want to do. So that was one of the things I was messaging Stephanie about, because I was trying to work through all that, and I hadn't even figured out the problem at that point. So I still have to figure out what I am actually going to do that scene, but at least now I recognize the how and why it was bothering me so much, because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know why this is bothering me. It shouldn't bother me, especially at this point. It shouldn't bother me until I get to the point where I'm editing. But it was bothering me in the drafting phase. So I still have 3 chapters to write. I still have to finish this. And after that, I can figure out everything else, which is fine. The other thing that I just had a realization about, so that all happened this morning. That whole thing with Stephanie and sending her the thing. that happened this morning, and then I went to bed as soon as I was like, we finished working through some stuff, and I went to bed. But just now, as I was reading through another book, I'm reading through a craft book right now, I realized that it finally clicked. So usually I'm the kind of person that works on multiple projects at a time. I don't want to do that with this one. I want to finish at least the first draft of this one up. That is my goal by the end of this month, is to finish the first draft. I would actually like to finish it by the 15th, because I've only got the 3 chapters left, and I think the way I worked it was that if I write so many words between now and the 15th, I will have completely finished this draft. And I say I have 3 chapters left, but honestly, I think I only have 2, because I did have to finagle some stuff in the chapters and the outline to match the story. And I combined some scenes and got rid of some other scenes, so I think I actually only have possibly 2, at least 2, possibly 3 chapters left. And I'm like a quarter of the way, halfway through. No, I'm a quarter of the way through one of those chapters. So I've got like 2 and a quarter, 2.5, something like that. I got a little bit to go. It's not that much. So I should, in theory, be finished by the 15th. Will I? I have no idea. But the other thing is that I realized that I actually do not want to dedicate any time to another project until I've at least completed this first draft. Like, I am usually, especially with writing challenges, I've noticed this a lot, is that I will work gung-ho on a project all throughout the writing challenge, and then as soon as that writing challenge ends, I stop working on that project. It's happened with Knight Rider, which is the sequel to, or Demon Rider, I don't even remember what I'm calling it anymore, the sequel to Dear Satan. It's happened with Spell Gone Wrong, which was one of the 7-day projects I worked on last year. It actually happened with this story back last year when I first was writing this and trying to transcribe it to typing. Like, I was struggling with it so much that as soon as the writing challenge ended, I just stopped working on it. I switched projects. And this is the first time where I haven't felt like doing that. Like, I want to finish at least this draft. And part of it might be because I'm so close to finishing it in the first place. Except for I've been so close to finishing projects in the first place previously. So I don't know what it is about this project. But I want to finish it. And then I'm going to go finish up another project that is so close to being finished. And I needed time away from that one before I could go back to it, because it deals with rewriting a chapter. And I wasn't certain how to rewrite that chapter. But I'm going to finish up this week. Not going to lie, I would love, love, love it if I could finish the first draft of this by the end of this week. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't think it's going to. I really don't think it's going to. But I would love it if it did. I would love it if it did. Because I think I need some time away from it. And then I need to... I was watching a video from a vlog from Alyssa in the Books. And she was talking about... She just now finished her line edits for the project she's working on, which is, I think she calls it Project Gas Station. But she was finishing the line edits for it, and she was talking about the way she does some of the edits during that vlog, and I was like, oh, that's genius. And I think what I want to do is, when I finish the first draft of this, I want to set it aside, and then I want to return to Presumed Dead, which is the other project I was talking about, that I have to rewrite the last chapter. Mostly because the setting needs to change, and I think the attitude that is involved needs to change. I just need to tweak it. I'm to the point with Presumed Dead that I'm just tweaking that last chapter. And once I have that last chapter down, it'll be done too. So I'll have 2 projects ready to work with and push closer to the publishing process. Closer. I'll have 2 projects finished. Oh my god, it's been so long since I've finished projects. It's not even funny, because this is what I do. I write, I binge write, I get so far, and I'm like, and I move on to a new project without finishing. So it'll be good to finally finish something. And I think that's what it is. I need to work on just getting stuff finished. All of this to say, this really long clip, because I've been talking for over 11 minutes, there's a really long clip to say that I'm finally getting stuff finished. Because this month is all about finishing projects. My goals are to finish, I want to finish A Buck Short. I want to finish Presumed Dead. I want to finish the writing prompt book. Now, the writing prompt book, I don't want to finish it this month. I want to finish creating a plan of what all I need to include in the writing prompt book so that I can work towards getting that. Because I'm not going to lie, I would love, absolutely love, to get the writing prompt book published by September. Because I started it in September. I don't remember if it was September last year or the year before. I think it was last year. No, year before. And like, I had every intention back then of publishing it in 2025. So if I could start working on it and getting it finished, I have all the writing prompt books, or writing prompts. I have all the writing prompt books. I have all the writing prompts. I literally just need to figure out what else I was going to include in the writing prompt book and get that stuff done. And once that's done, once that's complete, I can move towards publishing with that. So like, I'm not gonna lie, I would love it if I could like finish this draft of a buck short, and I would love it if I could get it edited by like June, because it would be cool if I could get 2 books published this year. If I could get buck short published this year. It's a novella, it's not very long. Can I publish 2 books this year? Can I? I think I can. I think I can. Presumed Dead's not getting published this year because I'm not publishing any of the Sultry Solstices stories until I've got all 7 complete. I want all 7 of them complete and polished so I can do a rapid release with them and release one every 2 to 3 weeks. I do need to sit down and I need to figure out a publishing plan with Buck Short. I need to figure out a publishing plan with the writing prompt book, but I don't want to think about that until I've got them closer to publication ready. I also do need to finish figuring out what the heck I'm doing with Puck's Choice and get the paperback out. I just realized that because I still haven't done that. I need to contact my cover artist because I don't know if they sent me an email about the cover or not. It's been a while. I haven't checked in. She lives in Germany and sometimes Gmail likes to throw her emails in my spam. And I've also been getting a lot of other spam messages lately, so I've just been kind of emptying the spam without actually checking it, which is probably a problem. So she may have sent me the cover and I just don't realize it. I need to check into that. Alright, so we've got plans. Let's go knock some of them out. So I just realized that I make a lot of videos where I talk about like stats and stuff as far as like my writing numbers and stuff goes. And it makes me look super organized. And I am, in a lot of ways, super organized. But a lot of that organization comes from the fact that I am a numbers person. I hate to say it, but I am a numbers person. Like, I like numbers, which is why I'm starting to do the bookkeeping classes and why I'm starting to do all this stuff. Because I want to know the numbers. Like, I want to know the numbers. I love calculating numbers. And it's just funny that everyone thinks I'm so organized because of the fact that my brain is so unorganized. And I think that's part of the reason I do it too, because my brain is so unorganized, because I am jumping from thing to thing to thing. Like even now, in the past like 5 minutes of doing the last clip and starting this one, my brain has jumped from the fact of thinking about like even in that vlog clip, you could see where my brain was jumping to different topics and literally in real time, because I was thinking about Buck Short, and then I was thinking about Presumed Dead, and then I was thinking about the writing prompt book, and then I started thinking about publishing. My brain did not start on publishing. I had no desire to think about publishing, but that's where my brain jumped to, and you saw that in real time. And it's so funny that I can keep all these numbers organized when I can't keep my freaking thoughts organized. Oh my god. But yeah, and that's part of the reason, like, I'm so impressed with myself right now with sticking with just one project at a time. Yes, I'm already thinking about, like, the next project and then the next project after that. But, like, I'm not stopping working on this particular project to jump to those projects, which is normally what would happen with me. Like, I actually have ideas for Presumed Dead, for that final chapter that I need to rewrite. But I'm not jumping to it. I have some ideas for the writing prompt book. But I need to read through what I've already got for the writing prompt book. But again, I'm not jumping to that. I am literally sticking with a Buck Short until I finish the first draft. And it's almost never happened, because usually when my brain gets stuck on an idea, I have to move on to that idea, and so it will just shut up and move to the back of my mind before I can continue with whatever project. That is part of the reason I jump to so many projects and do what I do. But just knowing that I am able to focus on one project is kind of interesting to see, and I like it. I'm not upset about it. This is not to say I'm upset about it. In fact, actually, I really enjoy that. I just think it's so funny that everyone's like, oh, you're so organized with your spreadsheets. I'm like, no, that's probably the only bit of my life that's organized, and I need that in order to for my sanity to remain, because otherwise I will get lost in everything else. So just a tip right there. Not a tip. Just a just the thought process that I had. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Oh, I'm going to go back to work now. So I'm reading the 12-week year for writers, and I just came across a quote that is heartbreaking, but also at the same time makes me question my own writing stuff. It says, "I know one tenured professor who has become so concerned about negative reviews that when they do manage to finish a manuscript, they now just file it in their desk drawer." That hit so hard. It is so heartbreaking, but at the same time, I have to think about it because in a way, isn't that essentially what I do? And I'm questioning that for myself because I start a lot of projects. Like, I don't even talk about half the projects I start, and I get a little bit into them, and then I just stop writing them. It doesn't matter if I think the project's gonna be good or not. It doesn't matter what the deal is. I don't finish 90% of what I work on. I only finish about 10% of what I work on. And I have to wonder, like, I know part of it is because of the fact that I get bored. Like, I'm a binge writer in the fact that I write and write and write and write on a single project, and then I try to finish it up as quickly as I can, and I either finish it or I don't. And once that interest is gone, I'm done with the project no matter where I'm at with it. Sometimes I come back to said project, sometimes I don't. But I have to wonder what causes that lack of interest. And I after reading that comment, I kind of have to wonder if the interest dying away has something to do with that emotion of that imposter syndrome coming out to attack and saying, no one's ever going to read it, no one's going to like it. And have to wonder if maybe the reason I don't finish my project is because that inner critic comes in and tells my brain that it's not worth finishing, and so that's what makes the interest die. Like, part of me has to, now I kind of wonder if part of me feels that subconsciously as I'm working on stuff, and that's why I don't finish 90% of what I write. I don't know, and I don't like it. No more tippy taps? Aw, tippy taps are done. He's just like, I wants it, I wants it. Oh!
That did not go where I was expecting.
But he brought it back, kind of. We're still working on the bringing it back portion. Ignore the fact of how dirty my screen is. For those who are curious how I work, I have my outline on my left and I have my draft on my right. As far as like what I'm working with, this is on Notion, this is on Scrivener. But what I've been working on tonight is I've been brainstorming because I'm not exactly stuck, but the story, I'm wondering if the reason the story is fighting me is because of the fact that it's just the characters are not acting the way they should be. So what I was doing tonight was I have these characters pages set up before I even start a draft. Like, this is how my template is set up with this page where it says the character name is name, age, physical description, I like, I hate, and more than anything, I want. And so what I've been working on tonight is filling out both Zeke and Jez's mainly, but I've also been doing like Anne Marie, and I've been doing, I don't have Margot's in yet. I was working on it elsewhere before I remembered that there was actually a section in the Scrivener document for it, and I was like, oh yeah, I can put that there. And so I've got Franklin here, who is Jez's dad, but not Margot's dad. Margot and Jez are sisters. Franklin died before Jez was even born. In fact, actually the day he died was the day that Anne Marie found out she was pregnant with Jez. And then Margot is 10 years younger than Jez and the daughter of Brian. And then Jacob and Mark are a married couple who are Jez's best friends. And then there's another character who has been mentioned, but I cannot remember their name off the top of my head. That is another one of Jez's friends growing up, and she has since moved out of town, and she's living elsewhere in the state, but she, Jacob, Mark, and Jez are all friends still. And I cannot remember her name because she's only been mentioned once in like a group chat message with all of them. So yeah, I was working through this to see if I could figure out if maybe at some point in the story I have like gone away from like their personalities, and I definitely did with at least Jez, because there's a couple scenes where Jez gets really like I don't really know how to describe it other than hard, and she's not really a hard kind of person. She's not exactly soft. She's not exactly a pushover. That is Zeke, most definitely Zeke. But she's not, she's cautious, but she's not like obtuse about that. She's not mean about it. She is like, I don't know how to describe it. She's easygoing with talking to people, and she's okay with talking to people, but she doesn't want, like, she's not really, and she's okay if a relationship forms with someone, but she's not looking for it, and she's not pushing for it, and she's also not pushing people away from her either, which is definitely how she treats Zeke when she first sees him. She definitely is pushing him away and saying, I don't want anything to do with you, and stuff like that. And that's not the kind of person she is. She's very warm. She ultimately, when I go to her page and I look at what she wants more than anything, she wants to be loved by her family, especially, but by anyone really. She wants those connections. She wants to be loved. Her family's never accepted the fact that she doesn't have magic, and she has accepted that she doesn't have magic. But she wants to be loved. That's why she and Jacob get along so well. She and Jacob were childhood friends, and then Mark was pulled in from the fact that he was kicked out of his family's home for being gay, and he moved in with Jacob's family, and now he and Jacob are married. And through Jacob, she now has another brother with Mark, and then their friend that is living out of town, who is also their best friend, kind of thing. Like, Jez's main thing is that she wants to be loved. And she does have that love from Jacob and Mark, but she wants it from her family, who does not show her the same kind of love. And eventually she will find that kind of love with Zeke as well. But the way she's been handling Zeke's attention to her is the opposite way of, like, she wants that love, she accepts it, and she craves it. But she's been pushing him away and saying, nah, this ain't gonna work because you're a witch. And that's not the kind of person she is, because all of her friends are witches. Like, all of them. Even the girl who's moved away, she's living in another place, but she is also a witch. Like, she was surrounded by magical people growing up. So that's something I'm working through now. I'm gonna do the rest of the characters, and then maybe that'll help get me out of this writing slump. And I have a feeling we're doing a lot of rewriting with the story, and that's okay. Like, I'm slowly getting there. This story's been a lot of work, but I'm working through it, and it's been enjoyable work, which is really weird to say. But yeah, and I'm getting there. It's just taking a bit. Also, my word count at this moment is under 30,000. It's 27,435. I have a feeling it's gonna be. I don't know what this final word count's gonna be, but I'm working through this slowly. I think what I need to do is sit down and do some index cards. And I have this outline here, but I've been going a little bit away from it. Like, I've been using this outline for the most part, but I've been adding stuff in with, like, the relationship stuff, as far as, like, everyone's connections to each other as I write. That's not in here. And I think what I need to do is just sit down and draw index cards so that I can move stuff around and put it where it belongs and figure out my entire plot again. Like, re-outline. I was going to, like, finish these last few chapters before I did that, but I'm realizing that this outline, as much as I like it, is not working with, like, because it doesn't have those mentions of the relationships with each other. It's not working with the story I have so far. So I think re-outlining it on index cards with the connections, the relationship connections, would be the best way to do it. And I've got colored index cards, so I can show, like, the relationships that build, whether it's like a friendship or romance or anything like that, familial. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. I need to pull out my index cards and do some index card outlining. Yeah. Yep. Decision made. So we've been having problems with the porcupine. Ogre, come here. Ogre, he's not happy with me. This one had 4 quills in her chin this morning that I pulled out. Easy peasy. Boom, 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 done. To be fair, I grabbed 2 with the first pull and yanked them out, and then I got the second 2 while she was still disoriented from the first 2. However, she had only 4, and they weren't in that deep. Mr. Man down here at the end of the hall. Ogre. Ogre, look at me. Yeah, give me that look of shame. I know, I see you. Come here. Come here. Look at this poor baby's face. No, he's running away. Ogre. So I've already pulled 6 quills out of his face. He's got 11 more to pull. And I accidentally broke one trying to pull it out. So I still have 6 more quills to pull, and they were deeper than hers. And he is running away because he's very upset. He's very much in pain. And we keep hurting him when we're supposed to love him. Oh, hi, Jester. Jester just jumped up on my lap. Hi. Hi. Jester, are you directing this film? She's on my lap. Hold on. I can't even turn this around to show you. This is me filming. This is Jester in the director's seat. Oh, that's the 11 that are left. Including one in his nose. None in his mouth, though, so we're good there. Oh, look, it's our porcupine friend that put his needles in my puppers yesterday morning. I passed him when I was trying to come home from work. That dark blob that's moving, that's your porcupine. Look at him, he's so cute. I think I would be more friendly towards him if he hadn't put stickers in my pup's face that I had to then pull out. Grr. But he's made himself a home over here for some reason. And he's buried himself into a hole. I don't know where he goes, but now I know where he goes, roughly. Oh, he's got his stupidest little froggy friend on his head. Oh, he's so adorable. Ah! I like the little bell ringer palico. So cute. Or feline. And my cat's just dancing. Like, woo! Alright guys, it is time for me to wrap up this vlog. I've actually just finished editing it for the most part. I just need to put an intro clip and an end clip because I keep forgetting those, so yeah. I've already started this week's vlog. Go me, starting a new vlog without finishing the first one. Oy vey. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't really have anything else to say. I'll see you in the next video or vlog.